Hello and welcome back to the Friday Feels episode of the U Up podcast. I'm Jordana Abraham.
And I am Jared Freed. It is so good to be back here with you, Jordana. It is especially good because we have a very special guest. Today, we are, as we do at the Betches HQ,
Yes.
we leave the door open. We say if anyone in the office
Has a dating
dating dilemma, an issue, something to talk about, we sit here, we go, we'll happily turn on the cameras.
Yes.
And start rolling while you gush to us about your issues. So
yes, there's no such thing as free advice.
No.
On You Up.
That's right. Get on the show. Let's talk it out. And we are joined by one of Betch's finest employees, Sophie. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you guys for having me. I'm excited to chat.
We're very excited. I've been waiting to get all the details because let's back up.
Backtrack.
Yeah, let's back up.
If you were at our New York City live show, we take questions from the audience. And sometimes people are ready to jump in with their questions. Sometimes it's a, hey, who's got something? And then some drunk woman is like, Jordana, I love you. And we're like, okay, let's move on. The New York show was fantastic. But within the New York show, we got a question from a young woman. And it was about a relationship. And then, in the middle of it, we're like, oh, is that Sophie from The Office?
There's definitely a martini involved.
Work?
Yeah. What do you do? And you're like, I work with you guys. And we're like, we don't make eye contact with the employees here. Sell our promo codes. So that after we got done yelling at her, you had you have a tale to tell.
Yes.
So why don't you kind of let us know? So we heard about this then.
Yes.
And then we were like, Sophie, get on the show. We gotta use
really unpack it.
Yeah.
Because, it's a live show. We can't get into the
no, we had to keep things moving. I was also next to my clients and I was like, this is so inappropriate. I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
But
It's
here
like
we
someone
are.
from Coca-Cola being like, Sophie, I guess you're having dating issues.
I know. I'm an open book, too open. But anyway.
So start us from the beginning,
Yes.
Catch up the audience that wasn't at the New York show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Take us through
For the people that were too drunk to remember.
Take us through the very beginning. Also, how old are you? Obviously you're not American.
Yeah.
I think we could tell from the accent. Where are you from?
Yeah.
Give us
What
your whole
brings you
background.
here?
Yeah.
Why are you taking our job?
I know. I'm 30 years old. I know. I had to really prove that point. Otherwise, I'd be kicked out. I'm 30 years old. I'm Soph, and I moved here 2.5 years ago, but I'm originally from London. Half Aussie, half English, so it's a little bit of a funky accent, but generally leans to the British
To us,
side.
it's all the
Just
same.
sounds
Yeah,
British.
yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
to me.
I feel like that. You
You
guys
don't have to give a
You're
funky.
from England?
Yeah. What's the big difference between dating in the UK and in New York?
I feel like American guys are a lot more forward. They'll be like, they'll come up to you in a bar. This is my experience, but they'll come up to you and be like, hey, you look great. I'd love to buy you a drink. Terrible American accent, apologies. But
You had me fooled.
did I? Great. But I think English guys are a lot more they sit back and they're a little more refined, but not refined.
I could
just
see
more
that.
Just a little more
I think
they
with
held
everything,
back.
even working with British people since our acquisition, I feel like everyone's a little more vague.
Yeah, a little more mysterious. And you guys, there's no mystery with American guys. It's straight up, chats right in front of you, telling you he wants to buy you a drink. And
Does it go both ways? Is that good and bad?
it's good and bad. Sometimes I think I've had to get used to it a bit because I'm American guys. I'm like, whoa, and Ellie, calm down. But actually, I'm kind of now
have a little class.
But it's actually nice though, because I'm like, now you never get guys coming up to you in bars and just saying, hey, in the UK at least,
I made
how
a
you don't
video-
meet people.
Right.
Well, I love the pub culture in the UK. I was walking by a pub and there's all these men hanging outside. And I made a video. I was like, look there's single men.
Yeah.
And the amount of English women that wrote in, commented,
They won't talk
they're
to you.
married, they don't talk to you.
Yeah, they don't talk to you.
That was a big response.
Yeah, they're with the boys.
Maybe it's because they don't want to be impolite by interrupting you.
That's a good. That's
I do.
a nice way to look
I do
at
feel
it.
like they're much more polite. They wouldn't ask you anything uncomfortable.
They're
They
good
want
on
to make you
manners,
uncomfortable.
that's for sure.
Yeah.
They are very good on their manners,
Right.
opening doors, cars, etc. They'll always come around, open the door for you. They're good on that. But
Where
they
is
just sit
chivalry
back. They don't really come up to and approach
Are they
groups of
better
girls or
listeners?
individuals. No, I don't think any of them.
That's a
are.
universal.
So they're
male
just
thing.
thinking of something else. That's why they're not talking.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. No, I get it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
No, that's kind of, I'd say the biggest thing is just they're the American guys just come up to you and they're big energy and they're pretty confident and just louder. Much more vocal and I think also with their feelings, even American guys are a little more open.
Oh,
English,
really?
like stiff, we call it the stiff upper lip of
Right.
like, we don't tell our emotions. And like English guys I grew up with are very like, hold it all in, not going to
could
be
see that.
emotional.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, all right, let's get into your story.
So the story is, I actually went to school with this guy. He was in the year above me at school, and I always had a
What
crush
school?
on him.
Like high school, college?
High school, yeah,
High school.
You
Okay.
guys can say
Oxford.
high school. That's college,
Oh,
but
okay.
cool.
I'm just trying to rom-com
Yeah,
this
yeah,
whole
it's fine.
thing.
Very
cultured over here.
Imagine this. Set the
Oxford,
scene.
Mayfair.
Yeah. It's snowing. We're all in
Yeah.
like suits and ties.
It doesn't snow in London. That's one of those things.
It doesn't. No,
Right.
it doesn't.
And it's in
The holiday. No.
The holiday they show the
And
snow.
Bridget Jones' Diary.
There's
Yeah.
snow in that, and there's also
Yeah.
snow in Notting Hill when
Yeah.
they do like the
it does
fast
occasionally.
track.
It just doesn't really settle like New York. How
Right.
it like really settles. It
So
doesn't
if you
settle
ever
there.
want to like call bullshit on a movie, you see snow in London. False.
Yes.
False.
Okay, we digress.
Yeah.
We
Sorry.
digress. So he was in my year above at school. Always had a crush on him. And then 3 years ago, I went to a wedding in Italy.
This is so British.
Yeah, of course. And it was friends of ours from school. Actually, he was in the
This
year
is
above.
before you moved here.
Before I moved here.
Okay.
I was about to move here. So I was literally just about to move here. I was spending my summer in Europe, as one does. And he was there at the wedding. And I was like, oh, he's here. Like, he still looks cute. I remember my crush at school. We hooked up at the wedding. And then when I was back in London, I was then spending like the summer, kind of like 6 months really in London. We started dating. I was very much though like keeping him at arm's bay because I was like, I'm moving to New York. I don't want to get too serious. Like, I'm about to move. I want to be a single gal in New York City, living my Carrie Bradshaw life. And so
then you got here and saw what it was really
Like, right.
I'm sorry.
You're like, no! It's like a genie's wish gone bad.
For real though.
Ah, this is what single in New York's like.
It is not like Sex and the City. Let's not
quite.
just tell you. Any girls moving to New York?
Flash forward to a date. He's like, I'll split it. You're like, what?
Yeah, no. Where's Mr. Big? Seriously, with his big flashy credit card. So I kept him arm's length, but we
And
definitely
what was his like?
he was
view?
quite like, he was definitely like really keen, but I was more just like kind of keeping him a little away.
What does keen mean?
Keen.
Into it.
Just to
Keen,
help. Okay.
into it, yeah. He was definitely...
Well, how old were you at the time? This
So
is
it would have
after
been,
a wedding.
it was
or
3
you-
years ago, so I was 27, I think.
So 27. This
Yeah.
isn't like
He's 28,
22 out
yeah.
of college.
No,
this
no,
is
no.
like
We're more
a
serious.
real
Yeah.
dating summer
Yeah.
thing.
For sure.
Post-wedding. Okay.
But I definitely felt a really like strong connection with him. It was just I was kind of keeping things a little at bay. And then last year in summer, I get a text like,
So you leave and then you leave it off like
I moved
we're
to
not
New
speaking
York.
anymore.
I then like we keep in touch, just like we always
Okay.
like the little Instagram
text
DMs
here.
here and there,
Okay.
text here
What's
and there.
the leaving like? I think like, you guys are dating, but like,
Yeah.
is it like we're together until the end of this? Or is it like a situationship,
Yeah.
but like a little bit more in depth than that? I
Are you seeing other people while you're?
I
dating
wasn't
him?
really because I was trying to just spend time with my friends in like London. I hadn't seen them for ages. I'd lived in Sydney for 7 years, so it's nice to be back. And then I think by the end, I'd very much kind of cooled it off because I was like, I'm moving. Like, don't want to like really get your expectations up anywhere. And then moved. Obviously, like we kept in touch. Very just like always affectionate little like messages here and there. And he's always just been someone that like lingered in my mind.
Right.
It feels like that's kind of like how it's always been. Like he's a
Yeah.
peripheral guy who's never offended you too much.
Yeah.
Never really. Well, he's never really been
No.
asked. If you think about like the way I'm hearing it.
Yeah.
Comfortable because they went
Yeah.
to high school together.
Totally.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
a lot of friends in common.
Yeah.
He's easy to like fall back in with. But
Yeah.
like, I think a lot of the dating stuff we deal with is like someone's like devastated you. I think he's like
Yeah.
kind of like not, that's not what this has been.
No, and I can't work out whether that was because I was being quite like keeping my little heart close to my, my brick wall up, or I think there was just a lot of that. But
Are you,
also we
like-
just felt really comfortable
Right.
really quickly. Like I think it felt, I'm used to used to chase a lot of bad boys, and like I'm used to that real spike and high. And I think with him, it very quickly felt comfortable.
Okay.
But that wasn't necessarily a bad thing. It was actually just really nice. Like it felt, I think
so
I
less
remember-
games.
Yeah, less games. I always remember when I first met Jordana, she told me, her partner, I asked her, how did you know? And she said he felt like home. And it was the sweetest thing I've ever.
When did this conversation?
we went to-
break
we
room
went to dinner.
conversation?
Well, when we first met, we went to dinner.
Yeah.
With like a bigger, not just like the two of us, but
Yeah.
like a bigger group. But then she was obviously like she was telling me about this. We were talking about dating. We were talking
Right.
about this guy,
Yeah.
and she asked me that. I didn't even remember that answer, but it's a good one.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
it is.
repeat
The
that.
same client from Coca-Cola's next to you, like, what the fuck is going on at this office? You guys are really
Yeah,
deep
you're
here.
really good. Yeah, we
gotta
live and
give you more
breathe you
money.
up.
I love the way you guys work together. Everyone's so personal.
I know. But he then came to New York last year. I get a text that's like, hey, I'm coming to New York for a month. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, okay, like, be great to see you, I think, right?
For a
And,
month. Why is he coming for a month?
He was, because he works kind of like nomadically. He works for himself. So he just kind of goes to different countries and lives, there for like months at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And so he came here. I saw him on his third day after arriving. And we spent it was one of those like classic. We were up till like 3 a.m. chatting, like spent the whole afternoon together. Like literally by 3 a.m. we were like, basically, oh my God, what is this? Like, this is crazy. And
It was on.
It was on.
Right.
And then his whole time we spent basically like a couple. Like
For the month that he was here.
for the month that he
Okay.
was here. It was super intense. It was very we drove upstate together. We would
Are you saying I love you or anything? Or
we weren't saying the L word.
Okay.
We weren't saying it yet. But we were talking about going long distance and what would
Okay.
that look like.
So you're
and,
really exclusively.
Yeah,
right?
definitely very
Okay.
serious conversations very quickly. And then he left. We would we're
That's
gonna
when
do
I
long
met.
distance.
That's when we.
Yeah.
I think the day after he
Yes.
left is when we
Yeah.
when you were telling me about this story, and I was so excited. But then I never asked you about it again in case it didn't work out. I didn't want to be annoying. So I'm glad I am organically getting the update. Okay.
So then he goes away. He goes back to London, and we try long distance. But we have
Give us the months here, the year, month.
I think it was June-ish last year, like May, June last year.
Was when he was here.
Yeah, it was when he was
Okay,
here, and then he
yes.
left, and it was June. We tried to do long distance, but our communication styles were just really different. He needs a lot more frequent texting, and he likes to text a lot throughout the day, and I'm not a texter. I'm just catch up when I can. Life's just busy in New York, as you guys know. It's a lot, and I think I was struggling to
Are you
try
a
and
FaceTime person?
FaceTiming a bit. I was voice noting, but it's just hard to find the time. And it was also weird because we'd never we had this month, but it's hard dating. So you're still dating. It was hard dating
Right.
someone long distance, essentially. It felt really heavy very quickly. And we were struggling. It was clear we were struggling.
Was there when he comes for a month, you guys have this 1 month we're together, this kind of fantasy world of a month. What's the ending conversation before he goes back? What's the plan?
We were we're going to try long distance. He was then talking about trying to move to New York. So that was
Okay.
kind of where we were talking about. He would see what he could do with a visa, see if he could move. And then we'd hopefully be in New York together.
Was there any okay, but that stuff's because that stuff seems 30,000 feet,
it's-
meters.
yeah.
Do you have
I'm
a
sorry.
plan for the next time you're going to see each other?
Yeah. Well, so I was going back to the UK in July because I had another wedding. And so I was going to see him then. So we
Okay.
had a month and a bit to get through.
Okay. So there's a plan for the next.
That's what
Yes,
I'm
there
wondering.
was a plan, 100%,
Because
yeah.
what you're saying is those are big dreams,
Yeah.
visa and moving. But what's the small keep
Yeah.
this thing
100%. And we said
running? What's the
we do that.
And you're in a
then-
relationship at this
Yeah.
point. Yes.
We were kind of
Ish.
we were skirting around it, but it felt like that. We were kind of
Okay.
going to try long distance before we said the boyfriend girlfriend word.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's what we were both very clear that we were working to. But it just fell apart really quickly. It was just really, it felt like there was a lot of tension. It was clunky. He was getting upset that I wasn't communicating enough.
So he wanted more.
He wanted
out of
more
you.
out of
Okay.
me. And then also he started looking into visas and was this actually looks really hard. I don't really know with my job, how I work, how this could work, me moving. And obviously that's a big curveball because then it's what does that future look like?
Well, are you in your? I mean, were you oh, I want to live in New York forever?
I mean,
Or-
I only been here a year, and
Right.
I was just I just really kind of almost started to touch my feet on the ground and really find my people, and I was loving it. I was so
Right.
happy. I
So
wanted
you're not trying to
live-
commit to any place.
No,
or anything
I
at the time, right?
I was at least if 5 years I wanted to live here.
Right.
So I think it just felt we were both just at this weird standstill.
Mm-hmm.
I went back to London. It wasn't great. It was just really tense, and it just didn't feel like we could figure out a way to make it work. And
And this is what? This is July.
this was
2024?
July 2024 last year.
So this past. Okay.
Yeah. So then we ended up ending things on that trip, which was really hard. And because he's the first person I think I'd met that I'm like, I can see myself like having kids and like raising a family with this guy. Like this is the kind of person that we have just such a similar outlook of our lives and what we see, you know, raising a family looking like and all of this. And
you got a great story.
Yeah,
too.
good story. So yeah, it just felt really, the first person I've had that with for a very long, like ever actually.
Right.
So it felt weird to throw that away. But it just didn't feel right. Like it couldn't work at that time.
Right. Or circumstances.
Yeah. And I think that was when
Did you feel like if you did live in the same city, it could really...
Yeah. Well, we could date. I think that's it. We could date. So it's like we never had that chance to like properly just date and like start a relationship in a normal way. It felt like we went from 1 to 100. And that I think just was really jarring for both of us.
So you ended last summer.
We keep in touch. Like I saw him at Christmas when I went back.
You hook up?
Didn't hook up.
Okay.
Proud of myself.
What kind of see each other? Like, did you?
We just went for a walk, which was really nice. But there was also stuff that at that time, actually, to go back to like the July when we ended things, there was also a few things like at that time, I wasn't sure if I wanted kids, which was actually something that was a big tension point. He really did, which has since changed. But then there was just other things of like, I was saying I would never want to live in the UK, like at all. And he was like, well, that's where all my family are. Like I at least want a base there or some kind of presence there. Like that's important to me. So there was a lot of things there. And then when it got to Christmas, I'd had thinking time on a lot of that. He had also had thinking time on some of the stuff that we disagreed on. And it felt like we had this conversation where it was like, okay, I now am happy. Like I really want kids and I'm happy to have a bit of a base in the UK. He was also like much more open to like traveling around and maybe living in like the US and trying again to look at this visa or living elsewhere. And it felt like things were
You're both
different.
coming towards each other.
Yeah,
like
we're both like a lot of the
compromising.
stuff we'd kind of really disagreed on in July, we were coming together on. But still, we lived in separate countries. And yeah.
Don't you feel like I'm hearing all this. It feels like you guys are like skipping. Like you're talking about like these big important things.
Yeah,
and
but
visas,
I know
but
we
like,
just skip. No, we skip fast. No, you're not
But to
wrong.
me, that makes sense though, because wouldn't you like need to talk about those things to find out if it's even worth it to like figure out the other stuff?
That's kind of it.
I don't know.
Like if one person wants kids and the other person doesn't, why would you even waste your time thinking about visas or like a huge life move if there's no real intense long-term compatibility?
Yeah.
That's fine, but like, you know, to me, that's like keeping it too neat. Like you didn't even call each other boyfriend, girlfriend yet. Like, you know, you guys are like dancing around that. There's not one decision you guys have made thoughtfully up to that point. Like why are you going to agree on kids and visas if you can't even agree that like, hey, we want to actually date? It feels like you've been half pregnant through this whole thing.
I think it's like because...
like I that to me is like a harder thing to go through with.
I think it was because like Jordana said, we felt like we needed to... like because it was such a big commitment for him to either move or for us to like try and do this long distance because it was hard. But you're right, like we had to skip loads of things and it felt really intense because of that, which was also quite like hard and overwhelming. And I think that's why I was struggling with it as well, because it was just like, oh, this isn't how it's meant to be. You're meant to just like have fun dates and like start to get to know each other and fall in love.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
Like,
I mean, I'm Mr. Logistics. Like I am Mr. Keep It Real, but it does feel like even when you're here for a month, you get done with that month, and we're asking like, are you boyfriend, girlfriend? You're like, well, I think so. You know, like I
can see why both people would also though want to be like, I don't want to like go there and like, because when it's almost like I guess when you say the label, you're like committing to making it work. When they're like, let's figure out if like we should like let ourselves emotionally go there when it wouldn't work out logistically. So I understand your point too of like,
they didn't even.
I'm
saying give it like give it an actual 6-month try.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I could give this advice to myself too, but I'm just hearing how this is playing out, and it's like it just feels like it's always at arm's length.
Yeah,
and that's really, I think that's even more difficult.
Yeah.
To get into because like all the baby and what do I want? I mean, who knows? Like you don't even know how you guys work as a dynamic to like plan, hey, I'll come to you, you come to me for 6 months.
and
Like,
to
I
be
didn't even do
fair,
that.
he was probably more in that thinking. He was more like, well, let's try like and do this back and forth. I was probably a bit resistant because I'd just been in New York and I was like, oh, I don't know how I feel about this whole like turnover of my life that I've just established.
That I think is a big part of this too. Like if I'm to give my outsider opinion, I don't know
I'd
anything
agree
about you, but like it seems like, and I get that for myself where I'm like, but I'm in New York. I gotta have my New York. I gotta have my Carrie Bradshaw. I didn't even date. I didn't even do the apps. I had this vision of what my New York was gonna be. And did you get to play that out? Like, do you feel you've gotten to do that?
Not really, because I feel like I've been caught up with this. Yeah. And I feel like it's still, and then.
So what happens like next?
So then I actually saw him 2 weeks ago.
Wait. You just skipped a lot of time. So last summer,
so then
you come together. What's the decision coming out of that July meetup?
That we're gonna like just not gonna like continue to try and do long distance.
And then you have a walk over Christmas.
Walk over Christmas. We just chat.
Christmas 2024.
Yeah, Christmas 2024. Right, yeah. We like kept up in between, but very like passing. And I think he also had been like, I want to keep a bit of distance because this has been really hard for me. Mm-hmm. And then in December at Christmas, we saw each other. It was really nice. We definitely we chatted. It was kind of, he said like afterwards that actually like, he knew he was being really closed about it, like everything, but he just felt really like he didn't want to get into it again. But there were definitely like things that we were talking about that were like, okay, we seem to have both kind of come together on all this stuff. But we left the conversation just, friends, whatever.
But you're friends, but you've also decided that you could be together if he comes here?
No, we hadn't decided any of that.
Did he just say he revisited the visa discussion?
He'd said more that he was like, because he'd said previously that he was thinking he wanted to really stay in the UK and like that was where he wanted to be. Okay. And I just didn't want to move back. Okay. And then he then said like, oh yeah, no, I'm thinking now I don't really know if I want to stay in the UK. So I was a bit like, okay, so you would move. Like you don't want to be in the UK. Right. Wasn't that a big issue for us that you wanted to be in the UK and now you don't? So
it seems like he's not fully sure what he wants to do.
Yeah, I think so. But then neither am I.
Right.
It seems like you guys are both waiting for the other one to like
profess your love and be like, I'm going to do whatever it takes to make it work.
It's probably that. Like we're both, neither of us, and I think that's a product of today's like generation. Neither of us are willing to give up. We're both very independent. Right. We both are
be the one who gave it all up for the other person.
And take the risk, to go back to what you're talking about, why get ahead of ourselves if we don't have everything figured out before we even date? Yeah. I feel that like this, Google Maps, making sure that you're going the right, you're not wasting any time. You're going the exact direction you should go.
Route. Yeah. Well, when you get your 30s as well, I've got all my friends getting married, kids and everything around you. There's just it's more serious and everything's got a lot more pressure and weight on it.
So you get
So when you guys are leaving these meetups, are you... It doesn't sound like it's contentious though. It's just kind of like you're both. You're no one's angry at the other one. You're just like, all right, I guess it's not going to work again.
Yeah, it's literally that. I think we're always just a bit. Almost we both leave a bit frustrated because I think we're both just there's so much potential here, but we just can't. Right,
but no one's willing to really go there. Okay.
No.
So the December walk, come back, and what's the? Give us kind of the, what's the connection social media wise? Is there
Yeah, it's like that, we send each other sort of he'll see something, send it to me and be like, haha. Things that we remind of each other.
So we're keeping in contact after that.
Very
are you texting?
Not texting so much, more Instagram. Actually, there are, some WhatsApps here and there, but not consistent. Just maybe once a week, a little message, a little DM, something that they will share with each other.
And are you dating?
Not really.
Okay.
Yeah, I dated a couple of guys, but nothing successful. No.
Okay. Do you feel like part of that is because you're kind of this is in the back of your head?
A little bit, yeah. And but then I also think I just hate dating.
Okay.
I get it.
Dating in New York is just Hinge in New York is my
even
field.
With your accent,
right?
I know, right? I thought they'd all flock to me. Yeah. No, I think also just I find dating hard, most women.
Meeting new people. Is
men and women these days.
Yeah.
Are you on the apps?
A little, but I'm a bad app dater.
Okay.
Right. So
I'll leave you on red.
So you haven't seen him since Christmas.
No, haven't seen him since. Since 2 weeks ago I saw him.
Okay, well, let's...
Yeah.
So what happened? So it's from Christmas of 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So like
What
6
was-
months.
There was not. It was just
6
all
months of
kind of
not-
like.
okay.
just little messages.
Light
here and
touches
there.
over DM.
Light touches. Nothing heavy. No, like,
So
what are we going to be?
Right. So what happens 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago, he.
Well, in between Christmas and 2 weeks ago, you stand up at our show.
yeah.
Yes.
And
I did,
you say, I'm having an issue.
Yeah.
And basically, the way I kind of saw you talking at the show, like, or asking about your guy
Yeah.
at the show, it kind of felt like the way you're saying these meetings felt. Like, I'm just confused.
Well,
like,
yeah.
there was no actionable, like, there was nothing that we could say to you.
I know. I felt like
And-
I was like, sorry, guys, I haven't given you an easy
No,
question.
but you were kind of in this position of like, it's someone on my mind. He's there. I'm here. And it sounds like the meetings
Like
that
the
you guys
guy
were having.
lingering.
Right. There's a
Right,
guy
yeah.
lingering, but
Yeah.
like, who knows if he's even thinking of me this way. I'm
Yeah.
thinking of him that way. I'd really have to do something to make it happen, or I can just have my life and
yeah.
be okay.
Is there any aspect of this that's like a little bit of like a fear of like if you go all in, then the other person like will be rejecting you, or like, or is
No.
there's no fear of that?
I don't think so. I think like I probably, if anything, he's probably more like he would.
Okay.
I feel very like trusting.
You
of
feel
him.
like if you were like
Yeah.
in, he would be
Yeah.
like fully
I think
in.
like, and to set the scene also, this would be my first relationship.
Okay.
So I think
bad for
there's
him?
also not his first
Not hers.
relationship.
Okay.
Sophie,
So
you're such a
there's also
rom-com.
me.
She's writing this on the fly. This
Yeah.
would be my first relationship.
Yeah.
Well, no,
Snow is
she's saying
falling.
she's not. You're not like necessarily like super
So I think for me,
relationship oriented.
yeah,
Maybe
there's
he's
a lot of-
he's more looking for like a
Yeah,
long-term
he's a lot more
relationship.
commitment, and
Okay.
I think there's also for me like it's my first commitment, it's my first relationship,
Right.
and also it's not even just like a nice easing into a relationship.
Right.
It's like
You'd have to, like,
we're
marry
moving
him.
across the world, like kind
Right.
of relationship.
This is
like
the underrated thing is like, you're basically like, do I make this life change or not?
yeah,
And that is something that like feels very like
It's high
you'd have to-
stakes.
Right.
it's
Well, what
high
happened 2
stakes,
weeks
yeah.
ago?
2 weeks ago he came to New York with his cousin, and we obviously caught up with a big group.
Is he just coming like for fun?
I know,
or is he?
right? No, he was going to Canada, and he was like, oh, we're going to stop through New York.
Okay, so that's like to see you, kind of.
I
Don't you
don't know.
think?
Like, he didn't say that. But
I mean, who
think
needs to go to
his
New York
cousin
on the way
has
to
friends
Canada?
Here, so I'm like, I don't know. I did question that, but anyway.
Okay.
I thought.
But
that,
you also
obviously.
said he's like a little more invested, so like it
Yeah.
makes sense to me that he's coming to New York to see you. Also,
How does he
I
tell
hope
you
so.
about coming to New York?
Oh, he's always so casual about it. He's like, oh, we're going to be stopping through New York, by the way. It'd be nice to see you.
Right.
So you get together with him in like the greater college group.
Yeah, there's a big group, his cousins and his friends,
Mm-hmm.
and then Felix and I, and like, so that's like a big group dynamic. We were like out at bars, like we were obviously chatting, but like we then chat at the end of the night. There's been far too many drinks, and like it's all a bit of a blur. And then the next day, he's like, I'd really like to see you sober and like talk about some of the stuff last night that we said.
and you're
We
like,
did kind of get, we did kind of get into
Excuse
it.
me.
We did kind of get into it.
We're gonna
but,
have kids?
Yeah, we did kind of get into things, but like it was just, it needed to be talked about like sober.
Okay.
And so we then caught up and we went for a little walk. We love a walk.
I like that. It's a
We
good,
walked actually along, I
neutral.
don't know if you guys know, along that like promenade by Brooklyn Bridge, like but it's where they filmed Past Lives, and there's like a scene there. It's very like, I was like, wow, this is like
Sounds
a movie
romantic.
scene.
Yeah.
But we
Having the
just
New York
chatted.
moment.
Yeah. We chatted about, he was basically like, I'm willing to wait like for when you're done with this New York adventure. I think this is something so special, and like I've not met someone where I felt like this.
Okay.
But he's like, but I'm not going to wait forever. And
How long is he?
yeah, I know. I'm like, well,
we're like, okay.
how long I got?
Tick tock.
I know. And he's like, but I kind of, I need to know that by the end of that, like you're then,
Was he
you're
like,
done.
I need to know that you're going to come back eventually?
Yeah, and that you're going to
Okay.
come back, and that then we're kind of together, and that's that. But I was like, I think for me, I'm now like, I don't know, like that's such a like, I don't know where I'm going to be in 2 years. Like
You can't like commit to coming back, you're saying.
I don't know if I ever saw myself back in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, do you do something for someone you think's gonna be right? But then the idea of like, also I don't want to resent him for pulling me away from New York too early. Like if I wasn't ready,
Mm-hmm.
but he's like, hey, time's up. Like,
And he won't come here.
no,
Okay.
it's not for him. And which feels a little like, why do I have to do all this? But I kind of get it.
Was it ever presented as like, let's start dating again? Like,
yeah.
Because that feels like such a
I know, right? It's super intense.
Right, because it's like, I'll wait for you. I'm not going to be with you, but like when you show up, we're married. Like, I don't know.
I think like is kind of the plot of the new and Just Like That Sex in the City thing.
Is it really?
I know, with like Aiden, where he's like, I've got to like go home for like 5 years, but like I'll be back in 5 years.
No, he does do that. You're right.
Yeah,
I love Aiden. So there
you are Aiden.
It just feels like I don't also want to like, what if I met someone in between that time and he's, I feel like it's such a weird, I was like, it's just such a weird thing.
Well, what does that mean? I'll wait for you. Like I won't date anyone else.
I know.
Until
And
you
it was
get back?
it just felt really like unsure, but he's like, but then he was kind of like, I can't sit around waiting for you forever. So and I'm just like, am I giving up this amazing guy and I'm going to look back in 5 years, single, still on Hinge, scrolling away, being like, fuck. Like
Another finance guy.
Yeah. Another finance guy with a vest.
Is there any talk of like, okay, why don't we just like go do our own thing? And if I do decide to move back, like I'll call you.
That's kind of what I think I've landed on. But
I'll call you toots.
Like if like if like the stars align in like in like a logistical way, like let's do this, but like let's not either of us.
Yeah, because that's to me where I'm like, because I just think the idea of like 2 years, then your time's up, like then we're going, feels really like a big pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
for you to like wrap it up
for both of us in a way. Like, it stops him kind of like living. I mean, no, I guess like, he's still living his life, but I don't know. It just feels
right. Why can't you date like long distance?
Right.
It just
because you don't like texting.
I don't because I don't like. It just felt really clunky and hard, and I guess that is what it is. But like, I don't know when the end. Like, I probably still want to be here another couple of years.
Right.
Like,
so what's your ideal situation if you were to think about that? Like this being
he's
resolved
in until I'm ready.
So like what he proposed then. Is kind of like what
but like I don't want to I don't know when I'm gonna.
Well, like why don't you say like, okay, wait for me?
I think that's why I feel so bad. Like maybe him just like keeping them on ice.
Someone wait for them as if they're better than them.
Yeah, it kind of feels like that.
Because that's how it feels, even though you're not saying that. Like I would understand. Like I'm making this person wait, who's a great person.
Right, and I'm not sure I ever am coming back.
Right, and I just. To me, like I'm like in fix it mode. Like, whenever we hear these things, I'm like, okay, what are the options? Like the options to me, like
give us 3 options.
They're kind of clear.
Yeah, okay. This is what I need though, because I feel very blurry, and I like.
Because based on what you've told us,
which road shall she travel
there's a few roads. There's no contact.
Jared.
Stop contacting. Each
Everything's
other. Like,
completely over.
You got to end it.
Okay.
Yeah,
like this whole.
But like
idea
no
of, like,
no memes. Yeah.
No memes. No texting. You need a definitive ending, and then and listen, I hate even saying this, but then like. Life happens. You're in the UK. You cross each other's paths. Like the rom-com. Mm-hmm. We run into each other, but you can't even plan on that or hope for it. You just have to allow. You have to assume
it's not happening.
Yeah.
Right. Like you can't be mad at them.
Yeah.
So that if that were to happen, it could never be re-entered. So like that's one. Like no contact. We're done.
Yeah.
The other is to actually look at a calendar and say we're gonna go once a month and we're gonna date. We're together. You're my boyfriend. And here are the dates on the calendar. I'm coming there. You're coming here. We're going there. And now there's like an actual edible plan that you two as a couple get to know each other.
And you give it a real
course.
shot.
Yeah.
Give it a real shot. Yeah. That's like as real as it could be in this scenario.
Yeah.
There's a third thing, I think, where it's like, because where you're dating. Like you're dating other people.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like in this whole thing, you say, I'm not good at dating. I don't date here.
I don't like to date.
I don't like to date. And it's like, I don't know what your goals are with New York.
Right.
And you might not know that, but I'm saying like the goals, relationship, career, all those things here. Like,
are you just looking to be like untethered?
No, I think I want to date. I just like lack investment into it. Like I'm just not.
Do you feel like you could find someone just as good for you in New York? Is that kind of...
Is that what you think could happen that you're holding back from?
Maybe a little, but like I also think that's just I'm conscious of us like as a generation having so much choice in front of us that we do that. We're like, oh, grass is greener. Grass could always be greener. There's always someone.
There's always someone
maybe
else like
that person, that person.
Right.
The next swipe might be.
I
I
think
think that's dangerous.
And then feeling like, oh, you've done that for so long. You'll do that, and then you won't meet anyone, and then it'll be like too late, and you've lost this guy.
Yeah.
It's like,
And I think that's my fear a little, I guess.
Right.
But that stuff comes into play, and like I could say this to myself. Like when you have no idea of what, like, have you thought of your own future?
I think that's probably also the hard thing is that I'm still a little bit like unsure what my future looks like. Like I've obviously lived in multiple countries, so that's
Right.
also still like where do I want to be? And that I think I was always almost hoping having a partner would help me decide that.
Right.
And
well,
be like,
and it sounds like
clarity.
that's kind of the issue.
Yeah.
Every time you guys talk, it's like if the partner would just
Right.
say like, but he
well, I guess,
did kind of do that
for
the last
her,
time.
it's like, can you date someone without having your own plan?
Yeah.
Can you like have a serious relationship with anyone, let
Yeah.
alone like someone
Right.
here you could say like, oh, I don't
Yeah.
know if I'm going to stay here. Like that might be an issue for someone you meet in New York. So
Yeah.
it's like, I guess the question is the like broader question.
This is the
is like,
Carrie
and this is for
Bradshaw.
Then
Yeah.
I got to thinking.
Then I get
No, this does
No, I think
sound
the
very
question
much
for
like
anyone.
a Sex
I mean,
and
this
the
could be
City.
a question for you too. It's
Yeah.
like, can you commit to like a person long term when you are not sure about your own life
When
plan long term?
It's such a gray area in front of both
Right.
of us. I think it's like, can we commit to something when neither of us knows exactly how it's gonna shape
Right.
out? And
What
I think
is-
that's holding both of us back as well because we're still kind of unclear how in the hell can we work this out. But because I think, as you say, option 2 otherwise would be great. Like we try this, I probably have to put a little investment in, but yeah, try actually dating and do it properly. Like commit time.
I think if you did that, at least like you could probably know in 6 months
Yeah.
if you felt like it was strong enough to really commit to, or go back to option 1.
Yeah.
Totally end
Yeah.
it.
Right.
Or
Yeah.
you go to option 3 and like you're like, okay, yeah, like
Yeah.
I will come back eventually
Yeah.
because this seems like worth it and because
Yeah.
it seems like strong enough.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, because you could get to 6 months of the plan of like, here's when we're gonna see each other and go, you know what, this is like a lot of work.
Yeah, or
And if
maybe
you're
it's
thinking-
not
that
right.
fun.
Like, who
Right.
knows? Like, we just never got to
Yeah.
date.
Right. But
like,
if you got to the end of that and said that there's a lot of work, that's kind of like the world telling you, like your gut telling
Right.
you, like,
Yeah.
But
this
you know
isn't
you gave
worth
it a real
for
shot.
me, but
Yeah.
you gave it a shot.
yeah, that's true. I
but
think
like go
that's
all
it.
in.
It's like giving it a shot.
Yeah.
Because then
but
I'll
like
never know. I'll
but
know.
going like fully in, like that's your
Yeah.
boyfriend. You like,
Yeah.
you know, you have like set plans.
Yeah.
And again, it doesn't mean you have to marry them, but I
Yeah.
think you're kind of like, I think that wastes less time than this like
100% this limbo of,
Yeah, this
like,
limbo
yeah,
thing where it's
totally.
like you're kind
Yeah.
of talking and be in between, but you're not
Yeah.
together. But then you see each other every time, and like you're kind of
Yeah.
they're always in the back of your head. I don't think you're going to be able to like even really fully date anyone else until you kind of like close the loop on this thing one way
Yeah.
or the other.
Yeah.
So like I can't see, but judging from just like my own experience, like I don't see being able to be like open to meeting new people while this other guy is like lingering in the back
Yeah.
of your head. So I think to commit is almost going to save you time.
Yeah.
If you're committing for 6 months, because at the end of that 6 months, you can make like a
know.
real
Yeah.
line in the sand decision.
It's so interesting the way, like, I see this as like a guilt issue
For her.
of, you know, her, but everyone, you know,
Yeah.
the way guilt works into our whole dating life. Like
Yeah.
you'd feel guilt that you 5 years from now you had this great guy and you gave him up.
Yeah.
You'd feel guilt if you told him, yeah, 2 years I'll be there, just wait for me. So you can't go that way.
Right.
You know, like
Well, that's why
how
the
do you
dating,
shake that?
the dating
you know?
intensely thing, I think, does
Yeah, that
kind of like
solves both of those.
right.
issues.
Yeah.
Then you both are like giving it like a
Giving
real
it a shot.
college
I think
try.
Yeah. It's probably also, I think I've been resistant to that definitely also just because like it's changing my life. And I'm like,
Right.
you know,
That's
that takes
scary.
me like, you know, changing things and not just living, you know, my independent single girl life and actually having to put a bit of effort in.
Well, that's
Right.
well, that's
Dare
where
I
the,
say?
well, that's where the texting comes. You go,
Yeah.
you know, it's okay to be like not texting your not boyfriend,
Yeah.
but then if your boyfriend goes, "Hey, I haven't heard from you,"
Yeah.
there comes the guilt again. There comes the responsibility. Like,
Yeah.
you,
But it doesn't
again,
have to
I'm
be.
with
It
you.
doesn't
Life
have
change
doesn't
sucks.
have to be. Doesn't have to be texting all day though. You could figure out something that works for you
I
guys.
think
Whether it's
so,
like
yeah.
the end of the. I don't know what the time zone situation is, but it's like
yeah.
your morning or his night,
Yeah.
and you do like a 50. Yeah, I think honestly, I don't really like texting throughout the day either. It's easier, obviously, when it's harder when someone's not in the same country. But you could
Yeah.
do. I think a 10-15 minute call, which I think everyone has time for at some
Every
point
day.
in the day,
Yeah.
like
I'd
is
rather
better
that than texting any
text.
day.
Totally
Yeah,
agree. I
any
don't want to
day.
be texting.
But here's
all
the
day.
difference. With a boyfriend, you negotiate that. With
Right.
someone you're kind of talking to, you
Well, that's
don't.
what I'm saying. So like you might actually find it easier to be like, I want like let's go all in. The texting thing, like I really don't like doing. I want to be sure we're in contact every
Yeah.
day, but like what do you think of this way? I don't
Yeah.
think he would care.
Well, so if you have a boyfriend,
Should we call him and tell him?
decided
You really
texting
are
right
Mr. Fix
now.
It. You really are. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know
I
that-
like it though. The 3 parts of you're right. There's 3 parts, and I think what I've been struggling with is this like blurry gray and this in between of like messages, but like seeing each other, and it's really intense. And I need to make a decision. It's like, you need to either just cut this
Right.
and face the consequences of like whether 5 years down the track you do regret it, whatever, or commit to it, give it a try, and like then I know at least like, hey, it wasn't meant to be. It just didn't work
Right.
out.
And lucky for you, it seems like he would be into whatever option you
Yeah,
propose.
he's pretty like mobile, like which is great in terms of his job.
right. So it's kind of like you get to decide which route you're going.
Even
which is
scarier,
nice.
even worse. I've been in
I
that
think-
position. That fucking sucks. I don't envy it.
To say we'll really date?
No, I
That's-
just think it's a lot in Soph's hands, and that is tough. I can understand
life.
Yeah.
where your stomach turns a little bit.
That's
yeah.
I think to me that's where growth comes in. Growth is committing.
Yeah.
Adulthood
Yeah.
is committing to
That's true.
something. I think buying something, being in a relationship, getting
Yeah.
married, those are all like things where you're like, I am an adult. I am like making a decision. I think
Yeah.
making it is very scary, but once you do it, it's actually like quite a relief. You're like, I've committed. I'm in.
Let's play a game, a quick game,
Okay.
before you have to go. Okay.
Okay.
I want you to say if you'd love or be horrified by these like shows of love. Like, let's say
Okay.
this guy shows up.
okay.
This is our own.
Yeah. Okay. You ready?
Okay.
He shows up to JFK with a sign.
Love.
You would love it.
I'd love it.
I would love it too.
You would love it too.
I'd
Would you
love
like it?
Have
I'd be
you
like,
seen
who
Love
is this
Actually?
bitch? Crazy woman? Get rid of her. No, the sign and the
That's the
sign
dream.
says, "Cheerio, old chap."
Oh my God. I had a friend.
No, Jared, that's
when I was 27, she just started dating her boyfriend. We were all kind of started dating people around the same time. And her new boyfriend Ubered to JFK. We were on a girls' trip. He Ubered to JFK to pick her up in an Uber to take her back.
That is, to those that don't live here or have traveled to JFK, to go and get an Uber to JFK and back, that's like as much as like proposing.
Yeah.
To me. Like that is like.
It was
a lot.
very romantic. I was very jealous. I was
$1,000,
jealous.
yeah.
I was very jealous. Yeah.
Okay, here's another scenario.
Okay.
Ready? Jordana, you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
He shows up here at Betches with a speech and gives it in front of the whole office about how much he loves you and wants to be with you.
Oh, I don't know.
No.
No, I think
I
that's
don't
a bit
think-
much.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about like, can I
Little
speak
much.
to you for a second? It's
Yeah,
fine.
showing up, I get. I'm down
Showing
for that.
up
But like the
romantic.
He
speech in front of
shows
the
up
office.
here-
Although to be honest with you, the whole office now knows my love life. So like, what's
Right.
the
Right.
difference?
Yeah.
He shows up here, he knocks at the glass door,
He
someone
does.
has to
He has
let
the
him
signs
in.
from Love Actually.
Yeah.
To me,
I've been
you are
thinking of you,
perfect.
yeah.
Yeah.
He proposes at a friend's wedding.
Tacky.
Oh no, not at someone else's wedding.
Okay.
Don't steal their thunder.
Tacky.
He makes a slideshow of your texts over the years.
No,
So
no.
he makes a slideshow
As
of
part
all
of
the
the
memes.
proposal?
Yeah. As
I think
part of the
the
proposal
memes-
to be your
As part of the
boyfriend.
proposal, I'm into.
So he's like, I think we should take the leap.
Yeah.
Here's
why. Bird
Yeah.
memes.
Gets your name tattooed.
That's too
No.
much pressure.
No. Too
No.
much pressure.
All right.
Yeah.
What if I change my name?
Yeah. Sophie, this was wonderful.
This was so fun.
Chat.
I
Thank
think
you, guys.
I hope we
Do you
want to
feel helped?
update.
It
Do you
really
feel
did.
helped?
I feel like Mr.
Yeah.
Fix It. Like,
Please come back and update us
I
on
will,
if you take the
guys.
advice.
Right, yeah,
And
we
if he
wanna
wants,
hear-
if he wants to come on and give his side of the story, if he
Couples
thinks,
therapy with
if
you
he
guys.
listens to this and thinks that there's any issues in the way you're telling the story, he wants to correct you. He is more than
Yes.
welcome to come on.
Anything
You're like,
we
I'm not that
missed?
into her. What you talking about?
We invite all parties here. We want even time.
Yes.
So, Sophie, thank you so much.
Thank
This
you
was
guys.
great.
Thank you.
Good luck. I'm excited
you.
for you.
We solved dating again.
We did it. Be
Boom.
back next week. Bye.